This video is on the technical analysis of Dow Jones, which we also refer to as US30. And what we'll do in regards to this video is identify the market structure of US30, market patterns that we should be paying attention to, key support and resistance levels, in addition to levels at which we may potentially look for buy and sell opportunities. And as you guys can see at this point in time, we are on the monthly chart. And to recap again, the market had given us this inverted head and shoulders pattern, with this side being the left shoulder, this being the right shoulder, and this area over here being the head, and it has a neckline at that point, as you guys can see. And as you guys know, whenever we have these patterns, we want to see price break into the upside and then come back to the neckline to give it a test. And where the neckline is where we would look for potential buy opportunities, especially if we have any key numbers that align with the neckline. Just also bear in mind that the neckline is also now a very strong level of support, and it would make sense actually for us to look for potential buy opportunities at that point. And from here, I'm just going to head down to the weekly chart. Let's have a look. Weekly chart, here we are. And again, guys, remember that on the monthly chart, we spoke about how this level over here is the neckline of that inverted head and shoulders pattern, and it's also now a very strong level of support at this point in time. And should price come back to that very same level, right at that level is where we would look for potential buy opportunities. But here we are on the weekly chart, and just to zoom in a bit, let's have a look. So on the weekly chart, we can see also that the market had given us this overextended double top, which equally has a neckline at that point. And again, when these patterns present, we want to see price breaking sufficiently below the neckline, hitting back to the neckline to give it a test, and at that point is where we would look for potential sell opportunities, right? And if we do indeed find any good sell opportunities at this point, I believe that our first take profit should be around this level. And why do I say that level? That is because, remember guys, that this level over here is the neckline of that inverted head and shoulders pattern, and it is also a very strong level of support at this point in time. To add to that, we did say that we actually want to see price actually reach this point, and at this point is where we would look for potential buy opportunities, right? I'm just going to add for now a neckline for that double top or M structure. There we go, more or less. Another thing that I also want to bring to your attention is that we have this candlestick over here, and as you can see, it is a bearish candlestick which has quite a small body and a relatively long lower wick. And at that level at the bottom where that wick ends, we have a lot of liquidity there. So it also says to us that there is plenty of scope for the market to come back to this level. And at that point again is where I said we would look for potential buy opportunities. Anyway, let's head down to the daily chart. Let's have a look. And on the daily chart, I'm just going to start off by adding my daily channel, and more or less I would add it in this manner. There we go. There goes our daily chart, more or less. Right, and we can see that in regards to the daily chart, the channel over here has been violated to the bottom side, and this acts as confluence in that indeed we may be getting ready to see the market actually push further down to around this level. And remember that at this level is where I said we may potentially look for buy opportunities. It's also a level at which a lot of institutions, including banks and insurers, will be looking to push the market further up from here. And that is because, remember guys, it is the neckline of that inverted head and shoulders pattern that we spoke about, and it's also a very strong level of support at this point in time, right? But what else do we see in the daily chart? Let's have a look. And remember also guys that on the weekly chart we spoke about how the market had given us this overextended double top, and we said that price broke to the bottom side of that neckline, and ideally we want to see price again come back to the neckline to give it a test. And at that point is where we may potentially look for sell opportunities if we do indeed find any. To add to this guys, as much as we had this pattern over here, just note that we also have a smaller double top over here, which also has a neckline at that point. So this is a very strong level of resistance at this point in time. And if we were to utilize Fibonacci, just bear with me. Let's have a look. Fibonacci, and just based on Fibonacci, we can see that the neckline, right, of this smaller double top, we could say aligns with the 61% Fibonacci retracement level. So that means that your price from where it is currently move further up to this point. At that point is where we may potentially look for sell opportunities, and that is because, remember guys, we have this smaller M structure which has a neckline at point. The neckline aligns with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. To add to that, it is also a very strong level of resistance at this point in time. And to add to that, remember that on the weekly chart we also spoke about how we have this bigger double top, which similarly has a neckline there, which is also a very strong level of resistance, and it adds as confluence in as far as looking for potential sell opportunities at that point, right? So myself personally, should I get a good sell opportunity around this level? Should I get a good sell opportunity around this level, right? I would say that my first take profit should be around this level over here, and that is because it is a very strong level of support at this point in time. If I can just mark it, right, it's a very strong level of support, and that is because we've had multiple rejections in and around this area, as you guys can see. However, having said that, as much as I'm saying that this would be my first take profit, ideally I want to see price come back to this level, which is where we have, remember guys, the neckline of that inverted head and shoulders pattern that we spoke about on the bigger time frames, and there is also a very strong level of support at this point in time. Another thing is that remember that around here somewhere on the bigger time frames we have that candlestick. That's a bearish candlestick with a small body and quite a long upper wick, or rather a lower wick, and I said to you guys that it's carrying a lot of liquidity, right? So as much as I'm saying that this is my first take profit, I want to see price at least reach this level, and at that level is where again I would look for potential buy opportunities, right? Anyway, from here let's head down to the H4 chart and let's just zoom in and see what's happening. And on the H4 chart, I'm just going to start off by adding my channel. Just bear with me guys. Let's see. There we go more or less. And just remember that we just need to ensure that whatever drawings that we do indeed add to our charts are as close to perfection as possible, right? And again, to recap, remember on the daily chart we spoke about how the market had given us another smaller double top there, which has a neckline there, and we said that the neckline aligns with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, and should price come back to that level, at that level is where we may potentially look for sell opportunities. Now that we're on the H4 chart, we can also see that we have this channel over here, and it also adds as confluence that should price come back to that level, at that level is a very good area to look for potential sell opportunities, in my very humble opinion. And that is because, remember again, just to count all of the confirmations and confluences, we have, remember, this double top over here, which has a neckline there. Number 2, price broke to the bottom side. Number 3, if it does happen, the market would head back to the neckline to give it a test. Number 4, the very same level is now also a very strong level of resistance. Number 5, it is the neckline, and number 6, it aligns with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. To add to that, number 7, remember on the bigger time frames or on the weekly chart, we have that big double top which also has a neckline there, right? And as I said guys, these are all the reasons why I say that your price from where it is head to that level. At that level, in my very humble opinion, is where I would look for potential sell opportunities, right? And just to zoom out a bit, remember that I said my first take profit should be just bear with me, my first take profit would be around here, right, somewhere, because it is a very strong level of support. However, having said that, I would love to see price come back to this level, because this is where we have the neckline of that huge inverted head and shoulders pattern that we spoke about on the weekly chart. To add to that, it's also a very strong level of support, and at this very same level is where a lot of institutions will be looking to move the market to the upside, guys. Remember that, right? Anyway, let's have a look. I'm just going to zoom in again. And what else do we see on this chart? at this chart I don't see much really, guys, but I just want to make one more point, and that is that as much as I'm saying that we had the smaller double top, just bear in mind that we have another smaller double top here, which also has a neckline there, right? And as much as I'm saying that your price from this level head all the way to that level, right? And at this level is where we should look for, or we may look for, potential sell opportunities. It is also quite possible that the market may only head up to this level, right, which is the neckline of that double top, and also a very strong level of resistance, and we may see the market actually move further down, right? So we just need to be careful. But at this point in time, excuse me, myself personally, I would love to see price come back to that level, right, more or less. And because it's a very strong level of resistance at this point in time, and it's also the neckline of those patterns that I spoke about. We also have this pattern over here, which acts as dynamic resistance. We may potentially at this level see the market actually continue to move further down.